Be the Change, Never Alone, Nick Foundation. Tammy Bobbitt here to talk about her son Chase that she lost to fentanyl. Tell me about Chase.
Chase was funny. I think both of them said that about their kids, but Chase he was so comical. He either wanted to be laughing or have you laughing. He was always like that.
What happened?
Chase struggled with addiction like Jesse, but he did have 15 months sobriety, and he took a pill that he believed to be Xanax, and it was pure fentanyl. And he took it alone at his sober living, and they said he would have died within like 2 or 3 minutes, so he didn't have a chance.
Well, I know you all have so many posters and different things. I don't even, when you talk about fentanyl, I don't even know where to begin that fight, because you can just barely touch it, and it's that powerful. There is a walk that will happen Saturday, November 5th, 5 p.m., Purple People Bridge, Fight Angel Walk in Cincinnati, Ohio. They're going to promote the bridge walk. What do you want people to do? What do you need people to do to come out?
Well, we have all these posters, which we have about 320, and then across the nation there's banners called Lost Voices of Fentanyl that only has faces of people who've died from fentanyl on them, and then there's other banners called Can You See Me Now banners that, and all of these have like 100 people on 150
Can You See Me Now
on each. So we want people to see our kids' faces and to stop being silent about it, because a lot of what people don't know is what's killing them, and we are the ones, us as parents, we're the ones who are charged with educating the public with our money and our time and our resources, but we don't want the next parent to be here being us. We don't want their Nick or their Jesse or their Chase to die.
When you say what they don't know, and I'm fessing up here, I don't know an awful lot other than I don't want to touch anything that has fentanyl on it.
Right.
But when you say what they don't know, if you had a 1, 2, 3 about mom, dad, addicted person, listen to me, this is what I want you to know, what would be that 1, 2, 3?
Watch your child's social media, Snapchat, Facebook, because it's being
Targeted
through there. Snapchat is
children.
a big one.
So what would I look for? Because nobody's going to just say on social
what your
media,
kids are doing.
they're not going to say, hey, you want some fentanyl?
No,
She's
they
got the chart.
Well, there's emojis that the DEA put out, and you can find them where they
Fentanyl emojis?
it's fentanyl,
Oh,
drugs of any kind. They don't tell kids that it's fentanyl. So they'll be like a pill, and it'll be I forget the things, like marijuana's a tree, or this is ice, or whatever, and they're just befriending children. They're drug grooming them and sending them something like, hey, do you want
I have to say, number one, I am so glad my kids are grown. My kids are, almost 40. So, but it's scary to think that as a parent, you've got to know this stuff, and you've got to watch what your child is doing. Okay, so that's one. What are some others?
I would say don't think not my child. That was what I thought. I thought I didn't have to worry about this. I didn't have to listen. I didn't know there was an opioid crisis because my son didn't struggle with addiction. I didn't know anybody really that did heroin or anything, so I instantly tuned it out because I didn't think it would affect me until it did.
But like with your daughter Jessie, she cracked the ball in her hip, and she got prescriptions because, and for her to be so young and to break her hip like that, she was getting prescriptions, and that's where that started.
Yeah, and then she had a baby on it too, and the doctor advised her not to stop taking the prescription because it would, the baby was already addicted, but it was a missed opportunity because he could have done something after she had the baby, and it didn't happen. And at that time, I didn't know about fentanyl, and I really didn't know about drug addiction until after. Well, I learned about drug addiction when she was in recovery, but the fentanyl, I didn't know about.
If someone out there even has a suspicion this might be going on, maybe they're afraid, where do you where do you go? And a lot of times parents just don't want to say anything because there's so much shame. But you have to
Still
let
a
go
lot
of
of
that
shame.
because
Still a lot of
if you
shame.
don't let go of the shame, death could be behind that shame.
Right. I would say definitely go and get fentanyl test strips. If you've been experimenting
Where do you get a fentanyl test
at the
strip?
health department,
Really?
you can
And
get
you
them.
can order them
And you
online.
can
I
order
ordered
them
some
online.
through harm reduction. I
But
think.
that's part of harm reduction. But they tell you can test your drugs safely. But we want people to know that fentanyl is poison, and most people who consume it do not know it's there, and they're already experiencing adverse side effects and withdrawal symptoms from the very first time. And imagine just taking a half of your pain pill, that was a prescription, which is what they think they're doing, and then you're taking something 50 to 100 times stronger than heroin.
Because fentanyl doesn't always kill you, but that one time that
Yes.
it's wrong, it only takes one time.
Right.
Another thing too is college kids. They're taking Adderall to stay awake, and it's
putting
not.
fentanyl
Yeah,
in
it's
it.
fentanyl. And my best advice: don't take anything.
Don't
even
take
if
anything that
Tylenol.
from
Nothing.
anybody.
Even if they're your friend,
Right.
do not take it because they don't know.
And if
All right.
you've been exposed, if you've been taking it, please test yourself to see if you've been poisoned and
And
seek
you
treatment
do that
immediately.
with a fentanyl strip.
Test strip, yes.
Okay, we've run out of time. Did I forget anything that we need to share? If I did,
We're doing it from Cincinnati and Newport, Kentucky. We're going to meet on both sides of the bridge. So we'll be in Newport, Kentucky. Tanya and For Them We're Fight will be in Cincinnati, and we're going to be walking towards the middle where all the event will take place.
and that will be Saturday, November 5th, 5 p.m., Purple People Bridge,
Yes.
forthemwefight.org.
Yes.
I thank you for being so
Thank
strong.
you.
I appreciate hearing your voices.